eyeshadow chill. We're chill today. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing a review on one of the newer Colourpop collections, but I'm also going to be doing like a mini Colourpop haul. I have some other stuff. I'll just kind of show you what I've gotten. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to find out what I got from Colourpop and how this collection performs, then keep on watching. Okay, so I guess what I'll do is I'll quickly show you what I've gotten first, do really quick, and then we will start testing. So one of the things that I got is the Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Colourpop collaboration, and this is the Child Press Powder Palette. Is that not the cutest little thing? Little baby Yoda on the front, so cute. It is a pretty green themed and based palette, which I'm not typically inclined to do frequently, but greens can be really beautiful, and I love the actual like tones of these greens, more like sage and like not super neon or vibrant, not a lot of yellow in them. Like I like cooler tone greens, so really pretty. Those metallics look incredible, and it does also have some browns in there, so it's not like completely green. So I did grab that. The reason I wanted to show you guys this stuff, number one, because like who doesn't love a haul? I love doing hauls because I just get to share stuff with you, and it's fun. But the other reason that I really wanted to do this is if you see any palettes or products that I show you that I'm not reviewing today, if you want a tutorial or a look with one of the eyeshadow palettes, if you want an actual like in-depth review of any of the products, let me know and I can do that for you guys. If you have it and you want a tutorial with it, you know, maybe some inspiration, something to follow along with, I can do that too. So just comment below anything you're interested in. I'm totally open for suggestions or requests. The next thing that I got is two more of the mini palettes. So the 5-pan mini palettes were recently launched a few weeks ago. I reviewed 3 out of the 5 that were launched originally. They've actually come out with even more. There's like a really vibrant one. There is a more peachy toned one. So there's actually quite a few additional ones, but I got the 2 original that I did not get that I actually was really interested in, but had sold out like immediately. So this is the Ballad one, which is a very cool toned palette. They're really nice because they are cheaper. They're only $10 US, and they're like small, just a little something. So this is like a really cool toned palette. Actually looks like it'd be beautiful for a smoky eye as well. And then I got the Lyric one, which is probably just off of like looking at the palette, this probably looks like it would be up my alley the most out of all 5 that I have now. I love my brown eyeshadow. Like I just feel like brown and gold and like champagne are like my favorite combos. I love to play. Like I'm down for a green, I'm down for a blue, like purple, pink eyeshadow, anything, you name it. I love to play around with it. But for every day and just for what I think suits me the most, what I personally think looks best on me, I just love me a good brown eyeshadow look. So I'm really excited to play with this one. It just looks like such a rich palette. Like, does that not look like divine? They also had some lunar like themed makeup, and I did get a couple of those. Number one, just because I like Colourpop and I have a problem. But number 2, I really like the way that these palettes are like done. So this is the Lucky Ox palette in the Lunar Has It collection for 2021, obviously. And it's a beautiful color scheme. It's very rich as well. It has nice, beautiful red. It has those beautiful browns. I really actually think that this palette would be something I would use on an everyday, and it would be very versatile. So I'm excited to have this, but I love that it is a Z palette. So obviously I would probably keep the palette together, but eventually I could kind of just put together, like mix and match, put whatever kind of shades I want. So it is kind of cool because Z palettes, when you buy them separately from whether it's Z palette or somewhere online, they can be a bit pricey. So I definitely think that this is cool that you get a Z palette and then you get the 12 shadows, or sorry, 9 shadows. I can't count. Then I also got the Get That Coin palette, which is the same idea, but it is a little bit more warm toned, a little more yellow gold, a little more orangey browns, and you know, luckily a neutral undertone. I love to play with different undertones and just, yeah. The next palette that I got is the Wild Child palette. This is another collection that is newer. Again, pretty warm toned, but very brown based. And as I just said, I love those rich browns. Brown looks are my fave. Knowing that about me, does this just not look like it would be a palette that I would need? Obviously. Oh, and sorry, my bad. I also got the Light My Firecracker Lippy Sticks Trio. I love Colourpop's Lippy Sticks. I actually have so many of them, but so many of them are discontinued and it's super frustrating. I still obviously have them and I do use them, but these are really, really, really beautiful, like reds. You have like that nice bright true red, which is Red Pocket. Then Lucky Charm is like a more kind of a cherry or like berry red. And then Lion Dance is like a more rich winey kind of red. I also got 2 of their powder blushes. This is Take the Cake, and it is a beautiful pink blush. It's like a nice baby pink, actually. It's a beautiful pink, too. And then I got Truffle Shuffle, which is a little bit more like mauvey almost. Those are the 2 powder blushes that I got. I also got another one of the blush sticks. I just recently reviewed this formula, absolutely loved it. This is in the shade Mic Drop, so it's a little bit darker and brighter, but I like to have a good, like, fun blush for, especially with summer and spring coming up. I would obviously share that out if I were to use it on my cheeks, but really, really beautiful pink, like a bright, almost like a watermelon pink. Really, really stunning. Again, formula is incredible. One of my favorite like drugstore price ranged cream blushes. So good. I did get one of the Luxe Velvet Liquid Lipsticks. So the velvets are a little bit more of like a moussey formula, but still like they're so stunning. And they have a little almost like bit of a satin finish. Really, really, really beautiful. This is in Keep That Coy. Almost done, guys. I also got 2 more lippy sticks, Caramella. So these are more up my like everyday type lipstick shade selection. So like a beautiful, a soft pink. Then I also got Dreamsicle. This is more of like a mauvey pink. I don't know what I'm going to do for my lips yet, so we're just going to see what I go ahead with my eyes and cheeks, because I haven't even shown you what I'm using today yet. And then once we do that, then I'll decide which lip would work best. I am going to be reviewing the Off Melrose collection. So I didn't get everything. The whole collection comes with 4 glosses, 2 blushes, an oat face milk scrunchies, and then a eyeshadow palette. I got the eyeshadow palette and the 2 blushes. So that's what I'm going to be reviewing today, and then I'm obviously going to go ahead and pick whatever lip will match best. Absolutely stunning. The idea behind this collection is very laid back, you know, chill. We're chill today. So I really, really am excited to play with this. I do really love the color scheme of it. Like, you know, there's some really interesting shades like this Fairfax, a nice glitter like Social Club. And then there's, you know, those essential shades. And then, as I mentioned, I got both blushes. So I just love this packaging. I know I say that about everything, but out of every single thing I just showed you from Colourpop, this packaging is to die for to me. Very, very beautiful. And I just love it. There's like not one thing about this packaging I don't like. I think this is my favorite packaging from Colourpop I've ever seen. Like the like tropical vibes and just the color scheme of it, really beautiful. So this one is called Fashion District, and it's a more kind of bronzy blush, a nude terracotta, which is actually so perfect. It does have that really warm terracotta undertone, but it is a little more muted and nude, like a little more brown. And then this one is Juice Bar. They describe it as a mid-tone petal pink, which I think is pretty spot on. So let's just go ahead. I've already prepped my eyes with MAC Paint Pot. Jump in with, let's do Easy Breezy. I said to my son one day, the saying easy peasy lemon squeezy, and now he says it all the time, but instead of saying squeezy, he says squeezing. So he goes easy peasy lemon squeezing. It's like the cutest thing you've ever heard. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in the crease. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful brown. Not super cool. It doesn't have a lot of gray undertone, but it's also not super warm. Like it doesn't have a lot of red or orange or yellow. It's like a beautiful, rich, kind of neutral brown. So I've brought this all in the crease and just kind of started to diffuse it upwards. That blended out really, really nicely. I'm just gonna take some of this on the list, just a little bit, and use it to further diffuse the edge. I know I have to use this shade, Fairfax. Let's swatch it. It's a duochrome. Like, look at that. How beautiful. It has like almost like a lilac kind of purple base with like a nice teal or like light blue shift. Okay, so first I'm gonna take this down to earth. I'm gonna take a bit of a smaller brush, quite dark. I just want to darken that outer lid and then kind of pull it into the crease as well. Really like that brown. That'd be a beautiful liner as well. And then I'm just gonna take the brush that I used before to help that everything transition. There's no harsh lines. So far so good with the mattes. They're all blending really well in together. Okay, so now let's play with some of the actual like fun shades, the metallics, duochromes. We're gonna take Fairfax and we're gonna press that all over the lid because why not, right? We're going for it. How stunning is that shade right there? That right there like has made me fall in love with the palette even more. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so everything looks so good. I love that shade. I love, 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 love this shade so much. I want to see this glitter. Oh, it's actually really, really pretty. Should we just add a little bit of glitter like on top? Like I'm gonna do it really sheer, just so like you barely notice it. I don't want to take away from that duochrome, but I just love me some glitter. Ooh. Look at the difference. Like this is stunning. Then you look at that and there's like the little glitters and you could totally build this. Like if you wanted a super prominently glittery lid, you could like pack it on, but I just wanted a more like subtle glitter. Now let's do lower lash line. Lower lash line. Okay, I'm gonna take Easy Breezy, smudge it and soften it as I get to about halfway. And then I'm gonna take this darker shade and smudge it along the outer part to about, yeah, let's go to about halfway. I honestly, for once in my life, don't think I want to put on a winged liner. I don't want to take away from this glitter in that duochrome. Man, I really, really like that. Going to just press some of that dark brown just to about halfway, just to give it a little bit more like definition, and then just kind of bring it up into where I already had that shade. Okay, I think let's just do inner corner. We're gonna go into, I think Trading Frost would be better. That's that like cooler toned one. It looked darker in the pan, but it's actually quite like light. Yeah, that matches really nicely. Let's wet it. And let's pull it into the lower lash line a little bit and into the lid, just so everything kind of pulls together. And excess, let's put that on the brow bone. I'm actually gonna take some of the duochrome here and wet it and apply that on the lower lash line as well. Okay, honestly, I'm obsessed with this look. I feel like I'm like way down here right now. Let me sit up a little bit. Okay, so next I'm gonna go ahead and do some cheeks. I think I'm gonna go with this Fashion District, that nude terracotta. I just feel like it matches the brown that I used to transition out. This is completely matte from the looks of it. Sometimes Colourpop has little tiny flecks of glitter in their blushes, which I don't mind because usually it's like barely noticeable. And sometimes if it has a bit of a shimmer, it can sometimes give like more like that healthy type glow. But I do love me a matte blush. And as you can see, it's kind of like blending into my cream contour that I had applied. And it's just looking very bronzed. Like I feel like this kind of idea of this palette is like beachy, laid back. I feel like this is the perfect shade for blush. I am going pretty heavy with it because I like that. And you know what, I might even add a little bit up here because it is so bronze that you could honestly like use it as a bronzer. Soften those edges, clean that up a little bit. Okay, love the blush. I really truly think that that is the perfect shade for this collection. I think it meshes really well. I do really like this as well. And I do actually think it would have gone with the look too, because you do have that mauvey purple. This has like a purpley pink hue to it, and that teal. There is some more like pink purple hues within the palette, but in my opinion, I do think Fashion District goes really perfectly with this palette. Let's go on to do lips. I do think I'm going to keep it more nude because I think red would clash a little bit with this look, and it's supposed to be a more laid back. Yeah, I think actually this shade here is going to go best, which is the Luxe Velvet in Keep It Coy. And I'm just gonna apply the Essence Stay 8 Hour Lip Liner in the shade So Default. It is this one right here. I think it's gonna be obviously darker than the liquid lipstick, like the Velvet liquid lipstick, but it kind of goes. Okay, so I went ahead and popped on some mascara to finish the eye look, and this is the finished look using a lot of my new Colourpop products. Obviously, I didn't use everything that I had gotten in this haul, but the Melrose collection, let's talk about it. Definitely a successful collection in my opinion. I feel like every time I review Colourpop, I'm like, this is my favorite, but honestly, I'm really happy with this one. This is a very neutral palette in my opinion. A little bit of cool tones, but a perfect kind of mixture that it is quite neutral. I think especially with the two different toned blushes, doesn't matter whether you're warm or cool toned tan, I think you will find one that you will like, because the Juice Bar is a lot more cool toned and like pink, and then this one is obviously more orangey, like terracotta undertone, more bronzy. Just especially for the look that I created today, it was very kind of like tan beachy vibes. And so yeah, I do really like both blushes though. I like in terms of color, I obviously have to test this one, but I'm not too concerned about that. Quality usually pulls through with Colourpop. Palette wise, I mean, I don't need to really say much. Obviously, from what I've said so far, you can tell I absolutely love it. The metallics were extremely pigmented, and as you can see in my inner corner, they build really nicely. They are quite pigmented. Like even this one here, which is again another example of how there's little pops of warmth in here without being super warm. I don't know, like that is a pretty bronzy shade, which is quite warm, but it's not really orangey. And then there's this one here, which is Take It Again, which is a gold, but it almost has like a greenish undertone. They're very unique shades, and this is one of the most unique palettes I've ever seen from Colourpop. Usually they'll have maybe one duochrome and then the rest kind of typical shades. This has quite a few shades that are really different. I think you'll, be able to find a lot of different looks you can create with this palette as well. And I think this is a perfect palette for summer. This is one of the palettes that I think I haven't been this happy with a palette ever by Colourpop. And I can honestly say that. I really honestly can. I'm just looking at this and I love every bit of it. There's not one shade I'm like, they could have done without. Definitely a thumbs up for this Melrose collection. I can't speak on any of the lip products, but the products I tested, A+. So yeah, that's basically my opinion on the stuff that I reviewed today. Obviously, there's a lot more that I got that I potentially will be including in videos to come. If there's something specific you want a look, as I said, or a review on, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and have a fabulous day. I'll see you guys next time.